Aloha and welcome to another tutorial video for CIS101 at BYU Hawaii. In this video we're going to talk about creating web pages with Perl programming. So far in the course we've looked at creating simple Perl programs that can receive input and can produce some sort of output based on our input, but it's all been interacting with something called the command line. Okay, so we open up either terminal if you're using a Mac, or the command prompt if you're using Windows, and then we type it in, and then it prints something out, and maybe we type something more in and we print it out. But it's pretty much just black and white, and there's no formatting, there's no rich experience. Well, when we start using the web browser and web pages to create our content, then or to present the results and to accept inputs for our program, we allow a richer experience for our user. We can start using things like pictures and stylized text of different sizes. We can control the layout of the interface that the users are using to fill out forms. And importantly, we are creating programs that can be easily shared and accessed from anywhere around the world. Okay? There are some drawbacks to using web pages, and that they add a bit of additional complexity to our programs. But hopefully we'll be able to use web pages and browser technology to get a better feel of what we can do, what's possible as we start developing our programming skills and start playing with the code instead of simply copying things out of the textbook. So the first thing we need to understand so that we can create good programs that display well in a web browser is how the web works. So what's going on? Sorry, dropped my mic. So what's going on here is we have two computers involved in an interaction. Okay, the computer that you're sitting at right now is called the client. Okay, it could be your laptop, it could be a desktop computer, it could be a handheld device like an iPhone. That's a client computer, and whenever you access a resource like a web page or a video online, your computer is calling another computer that we call a web server. And when it calls the web server, it asks for something. So it sends what we call a request of the web server. A web server is simply another computer. It may look just like the one you're sitting at right now, but its job, its function, is to hold on to, store web pages. And when client computers send requests for those web pages, it makes a copy and sends it to them. Okay? That's the job of a web server. So we have the client, your computer, which makes requests, and the server responds to those requests. So the client asks for a web page, the server sends the web page, and then the browser on your client reads the code on that web page that we call HTML, Hypertext Markup Language, to figure out how to display that page properly. So that's how the web works. Now, where does Perl fit in all of this? What we end up doing is Perl runs on the web server. Okay? And so the web server, instead of simply looking for a stored copy of a web page, it actually calls the Perl program that we've created and runs it. And that program prints the HTML that we need for our web page. So it generates it what we call dynamically. And then once that's done, that generated page gets sent back to the client machine. So we'll look at how to do that in the next video. So by now you should understand how does the web work and what role Perl has, or any other what we call scripting language, its relationship with web servers and in producing web page content. Hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Happy coding.